Today on Max Handy Gadgets, we're cooking a London broil steak, reverse seared, that tastes amazing. So let's get started. Alright, and for the London broil, we have an Angus premium top round London broil here. Let me see if I can show you the label. It's 2 pound, and it's a premium London broil. Angus premium London broil, so it should be good, and it's pretty thick. And today we're going to make this really tender and juicy, and it's going to taste amazing. So let me get this out of the package and I'll bring you right back. Okay guys, here's our beautiful Angus top round London broil, and boy doesn't that look good. It really does. Now we're going to go ahead and make a nice marinade for this to tenderize it up. But before we do that, we're going to use our Au Jus brand meat tenderizer, right? And we're going to, cut a bunch of holes in there so our marinade can get in. So let's do that. Alright, like I said before, this Au Jus brand meat tenderizer does come apart easily. You just push in the buttons and it unsnaps. And you can go ahead and clean that really good, and you can see your knives and clean them up, and it goes back together really easy. You just snap it on there just like this and you're good to go. It also has a button up top that you can lock and unlock. If it's unlocked, it shows up in red, and you can go ahead and tenderize your meat just like this. Just push down on it. Looking good. Just keep going as many times as you want. And what that's going to do is allow the marinade to get in there real good, right? Okay, let's flip it over and we'll do the other side. Boy, that's really a nice piece of meat right there, guys. Really nice. It's got a little bit of marbling in there. It's not too bad, but it's real thin. See it, the marbling? And that's like connective tissue, right? And we want to kind of break that up. Make sure it's really tender. And that's why we're using this. Let's go ahead and tenderize this side. Now this does flatten it a little bit because of the heavy spring inside, and that makes it really good because it'll cook a little quicker. Okay, that did a really good job, guys. Quick and easy. Now if you don't have one of these, go ahead and pick one up. Or pick up the brand of your choice, because boy do these come in handy in the kitchen. Really good. Now that's spread out a little bit and flattened out a little, but it's still really thick. See it? It's about 1.5 inches thick or so. So it's really nice. Okay, let's move our London broil out of the way and make a nice marinade. Now to make our marinade, we're going to add 1/4 cup of olive oil or peanut oil or vegetable oil. This is peanut oil. Put that in there. 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. Put that in. 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I don't know how to say that, but that's about right. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now this is the salted soy sauce. It's not the unsalted or the lightly salted, right? Put that in there. 1/2 tablespoon of minced garlic, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary, 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. Yep, put that in there. And go ahead and mix that up. All right. Okay, let's move our marinade out of the way. And we'll bring back our London broil. Boy, that's a nice London broil right there, guys. It's a pretty big one. And we went ahead and, tenderize it with our Au Jus brand meat tenderizer. And all those marinade juices are going to get in there now. Now all we have to do is put this in a plastic bag and add our marinade. Okay guys, we have a Ziploc bag and we're going to put that in there. Now this is a 1 gallon Ziploc bag and that's a big London broil steak there. It may or may not fit, but I think we can put it in there kind of on an angle, right? Okay, let's do that. Put that right in there. All right, yeah, it'll fit on the angle. See that? Perfect. That's really nice. All right, that looks really good that way. Yep, it goes all the way to the edges. Perfect. Okay, let's add our marinade. So we'll just go ahead and open up the bag, right? And we don't want to spill our marinade, so make like a little pocket here. And take all our nice marinade and pour it right in there. Now we'll go ahead and lift that up. Get it all the way down here. Get as much of the air out as you can. And zip it up. Just like that. Okay, there's our beautiful London broil with all our good marinade in there. Now what we're going to do is massage that in, Alright guys, that looks really good. Now we're going to let that marinate in the refrigerator for 24 hours to tenderize that up real nice and let all those good flavors soak into that meat, right? And then we're going to go ahead and reverse sear this tomorrow. Yep. And boy, is that going to taste good. All right, so let me go ahead and put this in the refrigerator for 24 hours. And for you, it'll be just like this. For me, I'll see you in 24 hours. All right, here's our London broil right out of the refrigerator. Now it's been marinating for 24 hours. And boy, does it look good. Now all those marinating juices that are in there should tenderize this London broil and also make it taste really, really good, right? Now all we have to do is get this out of this Ziploc bag and get ready to reverse sear this in our cast iron skillet, right? So let's do that. All right, let's see if we can get this out of the Ziploc bag and we'll save our juices in case we want to make a nice gravy or an Au Jus, right? Okay, let's get them out of there. Okay, there we go. Look at that, guys. Boy, doesn't that look good? I don't know if I can show it to you up close, but boy, is it tender. Now don't forget to save your marinating juices to make a delicious Au Jus or even a gravy, right? So just go ahead and save these. All right, let's go ahead and pat this dry and try not to take all your good seasonings off of there, but pat it dry. All right, let's flip it over and we'll pat the other side dry. Now you don't have to get every drop of moisture off of there, but do your best. And we'll flip it back over. Wow, that really looks good, guys. I wish you could smell this because that marinade is really, really good smelling. It sure is. All right, let's put this aside and we'll go ahead and get ready to reverse sear this up. So let's do that. All right, let's bring in our large cast iron skillet. It's a 12-inch skillet. And we're going to take one of these round racks, right? And we're going to put that right in the middle here, just like that. take this beautiful London broil and we'll put that right on that rack, just like that. Perfect. Okay, now if you want to, you can re-season this a little bit with some salt and pepper and maybe garlic powder, but we're going to leave it just like this with all those nice marinating juices that are in there. And we're going to go ahead and put this in a preheated 275 degree Fahrenheit oven for about 35 to 50 minutes, depending on your oven, until we reach an internal temperature of 110 degrees Fahrenheit, or your desired temperature. Now make sure you pull it out though, at least 5 to 10 degrees below your desired temperature, right? All right, let's go ahead and put this in the oven. All right, here's our London broil right out of the oven. Now we went ahead and pulled that at about 110 to 112 degrees internal temperature, and it should be perfect. So that's what you do. Make sure you pull it out about 5 to 10 degrees below your desired temperature, right? So that when you sear it up, you don't overcook it, right? Okay, let's see if we can get that off of there, and we'll go ahead and put that right on a cutting board. Just like this. Wow, look at that, guys. That is a beautiful London broil right there. Can you see it? It is beautiful. All right, let's put this aside and get ready to sear this up in our cast iron skillet. Okay, let's get our grate out of there. And let's quickly wipe out our pan. Okay, now that we got our pan clean, let's go ahead and set our burner to medium high. And we're going to put some peanut oil in the pan. Now put enough. Okay. And we're going to let our pan get smoking hot. Okay, our pan's starting to smoke. Now we're going to take our really nice London broil, right? And we're going to put that right in there, just like this. All right, we're going to sear that on that side, and we're going to flip it over. And we're going to do that for about 2 minutes per side. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. Let's see how we're doing. Wow, guys, look at that. That's a beautiful sear. That's what you get with a cast iron skillet right there. Okay, guys, let's see how we're doing on that side. It's been about 2 minutes. Pretty good. All right, it's been about another minute. Let's flip it back over and see if we can get a better sear on this side. Boy, does that smell good, guys. All right, let's go ahead and lower our burner to medium, and let's baste it with a little bit of butter, right? But first, we're going to put a little bit of rosemary in our butter. That's about 1 teaspoon. And go ahead and mix that up. And we'll baste our steak with it. All that nice butter and rosemary. Okay, let's flip that back over and see how we're doing. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Let's go ahead and baste this side with butter. Boy, does this smell good, and that butter adds a lot of nice flavor. Plus all the juices that are in the pan makes a delicious Au Jus. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, at this point I like to add a little more salt. to taste, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, some onion powder, and a little bit of smoked paprika. Put that on there. Tastes smoky that way, right? Okay, let's flip that over. And we'll do the same to this side. Put a little salt, tiny bit of pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of smoked paprika. We love our paprika. Alright, now we're going to take a meat thermometer and we're going to go ahead and check our steak and see what we're at. We're looking for an internal temperature of about 135, something like that. Okay, we got about 138. Okay, good. Alright guys, our London broil is done. Let's turn off our burner. And let's get that out of there and put that on a cutting board. Just like this. Wow guys, look at that. Doesn't that look good? It really does. So we pulled it at about 138, somewhere around there. And it should creep up at least 5 degrees while it's resting here. So, boy does that look good. It smells wonderful. Alright, let's put this aside and let it rest a minute. And while our steak is resting, we're going to make a delicious Au Jus. So, let's set our burner to medium. And we're going to put in there about a half a cup of red wine, drinking wine, not cooking wine. Put that in there. About a half a cup of beef bouillon or beef stock. Now this is beef stock. Put that in. Now you can put our marinade that came out of the plastic bag when we marinated our London broil. Put them in there. It's only about a quarter cup. You can also put the leftover butter that you basted your London broil with. Put that in there. Now you want to bring that to a simmer. Mix everything together. And you want to simmer that for about 5 minutes. Make sure it's cooked through and reduced down some. Okay, our Au Jus is looking good. It's reduced down some and it smells wonderful. That's going to add a lot of flavor to our London broil when we dip it in there, right? So it's really going to taste good. Alright, that's about done. Let's go ahead and shut off our burner. And let's put that in a pitcher. We'll move this off the burner. And we'll bring in a Pyrex pitcher, right? And we put that right on that warm burner. Now it's not too hot, that burner. It cooled down about a minute or two. And that pitcher can handle it because it's Pyrex. And let's pour this in there, our Au Jus. Let's see if we can get it all in there. Alright guys, there's our delicious Au Jus. Now all we have to do is taste test our nice looking, really tasty looking London broil. Okay, let's do that because I can't wait to have a taste of that. So let's get into our London broil. Alright guys, here's our delicious looking London broil. Boy, doesn't that look good, and it smells really good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slice this up and give it a taste test. But before we do that, I'm going to add just a little more salt, not much, a little more black pepper, and a little bit of parsley flakes. I like our parsley flakes on there, it makes it look nice, plus they taste good. Alright guys, in the moment of truth, let's go ahead and slice this up so that we can give it a taste test. Okay, let's see how we did. Wow, is that tender, guys. That's really tender and juicy. And that knife sharp, because we sharpened it with our any sharp knife sharpener. Because I always forget to sharpen them. Look at that. Did you see how tender that is? Watch. Beautiful. And you can cut it as thin or as thick as you want. Okay guys, let me pick up a piece and just show you how nicely pink that is in the middle. Can you see it? Beautifully pink. And the crust on there is perfect. Boy, is that nice. And it is juicy. Alright guys, you know what I almost forgot? My Au Jus. Put that right there. Alright guys, this is so tender I don't even think you need a knife. Let me see if I can show you. Look at that. Let me pull this apart and just give you a little taste test. Look at that. Let's dip that in our Au Jus. Look at that piece. What a nice London broil. That's perfectly medium rare in the middle. Nicely pink. You know, it's not rare, it's medium rare. So there you go. Let's dip it in our Au Jus. Now let's go ahead and have a taste. Look at that. Boy, is that juicy. Alright, let me have a bite. Wow guys, boy is that tender and juicy. Let me see if I can spread them out a little. There you go. Let me pick this up so you can see it. Boy, it's hot. Look at that guys. That's perfectly done. And boy is that marinade really tasty on there. Really good guys. You can't beat this. It really does taste good. It's really tender and juicy. And that's the way to cook a London broil right there. Just go ahead and do it like we did here. You know, marinate it overnight. And then go ahead and reverse sear it. You know, put it in the oven, bring it up to 110 degrees. And then sear it in your cast iron skillet. Now you could make this as rare as you want. Or as done as you want. By how much you leave it in the oven or how long you sear it for. But this really is tasty. You're really going to love this and enjoy it. So just go ahead and make them this way. I guarantee you it's going to taste good. And it really is tender and juicy, as you can see. Look at my fingers. Wow. Alright guys, you know what'll go good with this since we're having this for a delicious dinner? You guessed this one. We're having a nice glass of chilled red wine with this one. Boy, doesn't that sound good. It really does. Alright, if you're enjoying these videos, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Delicious London broil steak. Reverse seared, and let me tell you, this tastes amazing. You're going to love this. Alright guys, I just have to have another little taste. Look at that. Boy, is that tender and juicy. I mean, it's really tender and juicy. Beautiful. Alright, let me have another little bite. This is going to be good. Is that good? And that Au Jus. Wow. Yep. That is really tasty. And it's tender and juicy, guys. Boy, are your guests gonna love this. Enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next one.